It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day. I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. Taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. This is a spotlight show, and I am super pumped to have Miss Reality, Madi Wrenkowski, come on the show and probably give me a reality check about my life in general. Now, let me think about that again. I probably am not going to be happy about this at the end of the podcast. But I guess we're going to have to see where this all goes. We've seen Madi on AEW. She's part of Mission Pro Wrestling. She is all over the place. I can't wait to see her come up north because I'm sure it's going to happen real soon. She's just taking over. She got some wins on AEW Dark. She was just on the other night. So, yeah, let's see what Madi Wrenkowski has to say about Can Crushers and give me a reality check. But first, you guys know we have to talk about Collar and Elbow. Hats, hoodies, tees, sweats, all that cool stuff from collarandelbow.com. Go over and check them out. They have the Daphne shirt. They have the Bobby Eaton shirt. They got the Frankenhead shirt. They still have my favorite Macho Man shirt that has Al Snow and Head together in that sweet purple color. Guys, check them out. It's collarandelbow.com, and we have a promo code. It's Can Crushers. All one word, capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers, and you'll save 10%. Here comes Madi Wrenkowski when we get done listening to Al once again talk about Collar and Elbow.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
And welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I told you in the intro how excited I was to have Miss Reality, Madi Wrenkowski, which is unofficially the fourth Kardashian on the show. So this is really upping the level of Can Crushers. Madi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm glad you're putting over how great I am. It's soothing.
It's amazing. I mean, first of all, you're the fourth unofficially Kardashian. How did that come about? I
mean, sometimes you just gotta claim stuff for yourself. You know, if no one else does, you got to do it yourself. So I gotta speak things into existence. That's what it's called. You know, people do like daily, like inspirational things, and I do that.
You speak into being a Kardashian. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I also forgot to mention, actually, in the intro and in the intro coming back from commercial, that you are the longest reigning PPW champion as well.
Correct. I am the first ever and the longest reigning PPW champion out of all of the champions that they do have as well, not just this women's champion. So, I mean, you could say that I may be the best champion there. You
have to be, because
I am. But
yeah,
you could also say that is what I meant.
Okay, so what do you like more, being the longest reigning or the first ever? Because at some point, I mean, you're probably going to have to give it up when you get a mega contract or something like that, just to, let it go to the wayside. And then some, minuscule somebody's going to come up and become the second champion. But this is down the road. Which one do you think is better, longest reigning or first ever?
I mean, I think the first ever just has like a cool notoriety, but like longest reigning, I feel is like means like you put work in. Like first ever, I was just the best at that time,
Yep.
or I was lucky that day. But like a reign can last for a while, you know?
I love that you went with that one because that's the one I was hoping you'd say. I really do. Nobody can be the first besides you.
Correct.
So, know you're a Texas girl, and so right off the bat, the hard-hitting questions. What's your favorite taco?
My favorite barbacoa.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever had it?
I have. I have up there. We have a taco truck up around our area that has a lot of different ones. I like barbacoa, but I'm also a big shrimp taco fan as well. Are you all right with those?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like that just means that you haven't had.
I haven't had the original.
Yeah. If you're based around or at anywhere near Philadelphia, like everyone knows, nothing good comes from Philadelphia.
I am not. Thank God for that. I am more based in Pittsburgh. Philadelphia
that's what I meant.
No, you said Philadelphia. I will agree with Philadelphia.
Anything that's not Texas, it just isn't important. Their peas. Pittsburgh, exactly. Pittsburgh, even worse.
Yeah, but Philadelphia is trash. People in Pennsylvania don't even consider Philadelphia part of Pennsylvania. We give it to New Jersey, which is even trashier, right? Come on, help Barry people with me.
I do like the Jersey Shore, though. I like that show.
Why?
Why not?
Because it's... I know you're a reality fan, and we'll get there. I'm trying to give you your props on everything. You just lost it. The Jersey Shore, Maddie? Come on. Do you design your own gear? Because you have some of the greatest gear in professional wrestling today. Do you design it?
Yes and no. So, I personally don't, but it is my family. My brother is the one who designs it, and my mother is the one who makes it.
Oh, but you at least give some ideas, right?
I used to. For some reason, they seem to think that I may or may not have. I may hinder the process. I don't know why. I'm not that hard to work with, but
are you too bougie or Gucci or what?
No, I guess I just have very opinionated. So the last couple ones I have been left out of, but I do get some insight at the beginning of the project. But after that, it's just them.
So how's that come about then? That you're just like, all right, this is what I'm wearing tonight then, because my brother and my mother made it. You at least have to pick a pattern, or there's got to be something, because they can't surprise you with like a neon green and orange jumpsuit or something. Say, there you go, Maddie, this is what you're wearing on, and we'll get to it. AEW Dark tonight.
See, we talk about ideas, and like ideas are thrown around, and like questions are asked, but I'm not given like specifics. Like I guess there's another outfit coming. And that one, I feel like I'm completely in the dark with, because they're more like, try it on, see if you'll like it, rather than saying no from the get-go, because they think that it'll be like a good thing. You know what I mean? Like that houndstooth, I don't know if I would have said yes from the get-go, but then like seeing it, it's one of my favorite outfits.
Okay. So they know your influences of what you want to wear. They're never going to steer you wrong, essentially. You would hope it's family, for the love of God. You would hope not.
Yeah, I just have to make sure I don't make them mad that week.
What are some of your influences for your gear? Because I'm telling you, have you got this question before, that you have bomb gear? Because I know you've been on a couple other podcasts and everything.
Yeah, it's actually, you're my first podcast in a while. I took a break because some were just a little strange. When you say yes to everything, there's obviously going to be some duds.
Right.
But so my major influence in my gear is FloJo. She was a track star.
Yep.
When I was growing up, and she always had like these kind of asymmetric outfits, or just her outfits weren't like that of the other athletes. So that being said, I used to run when I grew up competitively. So I took that asymmetrical look and put it into my gear. And so at first it was like one short leg, one long, one short arm, one long. And then I realized that doesn't have to be just that. So we've experimented, but it's always going to have, for the most part, one short leg, one long leg, but the top can vary.
Okay.
So you kind of stick with that for the most part.
Nice.
No promises.
I like that. So you were a runner high school and college?
So primarily, it started when I was about 8, all through high school. And then after that, like, you kind of fall out of love with stuff. It was kind of almost exactly like that.
Boom.
Like when you do something competitively for a long time, I think.
You do. You really do. I was a baseball player from, I don't know, the age of 5 all the way until college. And then after college, I'm like, man, I know I'm not going to the MLB. And I just like, I'm done. I'm taking a while. And people are like, you want to at least play like slow pitch softball? I'm like, no, I don't love the sport right now. I was out.
Yeah.
Years later, I got back into it, but I'm definitely much older than you.
Yeah, so now you do old people softball?
I do. Thanks. Wow, right under the bus. That's why you're Miss Reality. Right under the bus.
I was making sure we were on the same level of understanding of how your life was going.
It's miserable, apparently, now.
Hey, some of them have some good sponsors.
We
like
do
Buffalo
not.
Wild Wings. Oh.
Yeah, we are a legit beer league softball. Like, most of it's my friends and the people that I hate on the other team. That's about it. We play.
See, that could go in your like benefit, though. If the opposing team has people you hate.
Right, yeah.
Accidentally clip them with the ball.
Exactly. I'm a giant douchebag on the field, too. So, yeah, I will wait till the guy... I play first base. So if there's a grounder hit to me, I will wait till the guy is like 3 feet away from touching first base. Then I'll tab him out. So he's got to, use all his energy, knowing that he's going to get out, even though I'm just standing there, because he thinks, oh, Mark might drop the ball. And then I just touch the base, and then they get pissed off. Maddie, I'm an asshole. You can ask my co-hosts and everybody like that. They'll agree. I'm an ass. But that's what you have to be in sports.
I mean, at least you know.
Right?
At least you're aware. That's the first.
Very much
first
aware.
Level is acceptance.
You can ask some of the other wrestlers that I've talked to. They'll tell you the same thing. So you came... I'm excited that you said something, and I want to bring it up. I am your first podcast back in a while. Why? Why did you say okay to Can Crushers?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't know. Okay.
No, that's fine.
Sometimes you just gotta say yes to things.
Yeah. If you don't say yes to everything, you what's the Michael Jordan saying that just if you don't say yes, it's a no 100% of the time? Or something like that. If you don't try, it's 100% of the time. I don't know.
I think it's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but you were close.
Yeah, see? Very good.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. People understand that.
You're almost there if you like squint and then like turn around a couple times and then go upside down.
And do the hokey pokey?
Maybe not even that.
Okay.
That can.
So, Miss Reality is real for you. You are a huge, and we're going to get to wrestling, but you are a huge reality fan, right?
Yes.
What are your, besides the Kardashians, we all know, we've heard, we know, besides the Kardashians, what else do you love?
So, I love there was a show growing up called The Bad Girls Club. And that was my show. I watched like all of the seasons. What like a lot of people ask what the point of the show was. I'm not really sure what it was. Later in the seasons, it was apparently supposed to be about reform and whatnot. That's when they got boring. But other than that, it's just basically you put type A personalities in a house and they end up fighting each other.
Like real world.
Yeah. Except I feel like this one was just specifically for them to fight each other. But
Yeah.
nothing, I don't even know. But that one, recently, we've been watching a show called, I think it's 90 days in or 60 days in or something like
60
that.
days in is amazing.
Yes, 60 days in. It is. And I don't understand what has to happen in your life for you to do that.
I don't know. I thought about it. I would love to do that once. I don't know why. Because it's just an experience.
Yeah, but that you can't get that time back. And you could die in there.
I almost think that they wouldn't let you die.
You would think.
You would hope,
like,
at least.
Yeah, but they don't, like, what else can they do? Like, they're not going to put themselves in harm's way if you really mess it up.
I would probably just sit in the corner and cry after a week anyway.
I would probably do that from the get-go.
Like, you could act tough for a while. Come on. No?
I'm going to let them know. I'm going to let them know my position.
Okay.
And myself.
Just sitting in the corner rocking. Just sitting there.
Maybe they'll just think I'm, like, not all there.
Well, maybe. Anything else?
Let's see. 90 Day Fiance, like that. Let's see. Chrisley Knows Best.
Oh, that's my wife's favorite.
It is. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I just finished watching the show on Netflix called The Circle. That first season had me hooked, but then the other one was just meh. Why? Did you watch reality television?
I do, and the ones that I was thinking of, like Survivor, Big Brother, well, you brought up the Jersey Shore, I brought up Real World, like ones like that where they're a contest. Those are reality-based ones that are like contest ones that I was thinking. Would you do any of them?
I know Marty Bell said she had been on like a show on like Telemundo that was kind of like that. And it sounds interesting, like sounds fun, but I don't know. I think if I was going to do any type of game show, I want to be on Family Feud.
Wow. All right. That went from like survival of the fittest to wrong answer, but
yeah, that's my safe zone. And my main thing is I would want to be on Family Feud so that when someone answers, I can clap and say, good answer, good answer. Like I practice that. So
okay. All right, let's get to wrestling because we'll come back. Well, would you do Big Brother? Because that's not bad. Like, I would do Big Brother. There's no way in hell I'm doing Survivors. I don't like snakes. I don't like bugs. I don't like any of that. Yet I'm a garbage man in real life. That's my shoot job. So I have all that on me half the time anyway.
Ew.
Right?
I don't even really know what Big Brother is about.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get into that one too much.
You're just thrown in a house for 90 days, and then you have to do stupid competitions like walk a plank or get rained on or something like that.
Get rained on?
Well, fake rain. You're in LA in a studio or whatever. They're going to, throw fake rain on you, and you have to hold on to a plank for as long as you can before you fall off. No.
Maybe then. I don't know.
I think you'd do well at that one, I think. Especially with your cunningness of being so many different ways that you can in wrestling. But we'll get to that because you're like, what the hell is Mark talking about now? But we'll get there.
Okay. I'll wait.
So let's chat about wrestling. Who introduced you to wrestling as little Maddie? Was it mom, dad, Uncle Joe? And, who said, Maddie, you have to watch this?
Yeah. So it was actually my brother. And he actually got into it just, I guess my dad was flipping through the channels. He does that. Like when it goes to commercial, he'll just flip to a different channel.
All old men do.
Yep. And I guess my brother, he said my dad was flipping through the channels and he saw China. And so my brother ran upstairs and he like tried to find the channel that was on. And ever since then, he's just been enamored with WWE or WWF at that time. And so I was basically like my brother's brother because he was the only male. And so I basically did what he did. So I started watching it, and it was just the Hardy Boys and Lita. When I was like actually able to like actually be entertained and sit still, it was them who like caught my attention because they just were like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Yeah. When we do my comparison, you kind of just ruined my big gig for every podcast because I will say one more that I'll wait when you tell me who you think you are. So you named your favorites, and what was your deciding factor then to say, damn it, I'm pursuing this after your running career?
Yeah. So I like to call it fate. So all throughout college, and if anyone who's ever been knows, right around finals times, it's awful and you hate your life and you question why you're not like backpacking in Europe or something.
Yep.
Like all the movies. So basically I would always joke around and say like, oh, I'm just going to quit and I'm going to become a wrestler. And my mom was like, no, you're not. You're going to get a degree before you go and ruin your life. So I was like, bet. So I graduated. But I actually got a job in my field. And the field I was in at that time was wildlife biology. So I got a job at the national parks.
So you ended up backpacking a little bit then.
But what had happened was I didn't actually get to start the job because there was a natural disaster. So they're basically like, you can either relocate or you can wait and we can see what happened. So I basically took that as an opportunity to find a wrestling school. I was like, well, I got my degree. Now it's time to ruin my life.
Does mom really think you ruined your life now?
No, not at all. They are very supportive and they're always at like all of my shows here in Texas. And even the one that I did with Mission Pro in Oklahoma. So they're very supportive. I hope they don't think I ruined my life.
Right.
If they did, they're very good at hiding it.
Yeah. Did they ever make the trip to Jacksonville with you?
No, they did not. Oh, actually, I lied. They did. They did for not AEW, but for the Mission Pro when Mission Pro went to Jacksonville. They were actually there.
The taco party truck margarita show?
Yeah, I believe they just call it a taco festival.
Whatever it is, yeah. It's all the above. Was it all there? There was tacos, margaritas, and wrestling, right?
Yeah, and Jericho and Fozzy.
Can you sing some of Judas for us?
Whoa, you have to pay for that.
All right.
But yes, I do know every single word. It feels like it's in my dreams and my nightmares.
Well, which one is it?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just depends on the tone of the song. You know?
Yeah.
That changed a lot.
Would you sparked my interest. This wasn't even, I didn't know anything about you being a park ranger. Can we say that?
Well, supposed to be. I never actually did it.
Which natural disaster? Because
so I was actually Volcano National Park, and it was in 2018 when that happened.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't remember anything happening in Texas besides maybe, the major snowstorm last year.
Yeah, no, that was. Fortunately for me, I was actually not a part of that. I had actually managed to hop on one of the last flights out of Texas to Jacksonville. So
my godfather lives in Houston, and he sent a picture of I don't know, I'm not being mean, but the 6 inches of snow or whatever you guys had. He's like, Mark, look at this. And I'm like, You're from Pennsylvania. You should remember that, 6 inches of snow is a daily occurrence, February to May. And I sent him a picture back, and I'm like, here you go. This is what we have, and we had 3 feet. So I'm like, I don't want to hear you crying. But I know you guys you guys down there are not made for that, and I'm not being disrespectful at all, because that crippled you guys. It literally did.
Yeah. And I hear that from my dad all the time. The whole, I used to walk in the snow uphill on the way to school, both ways or something like that, whatever they say.
Where's your dad from that he was in snow?
Long Island, New York.
Oh, yeah. So he had a ton of snow as well. He had the blizzards. Yeah.
Yeah, he would always tell us about how you could like literally build tunnels. Like the snow was that like sturdy.
Yeah.
And like here it's like ice and not.
You've never experienced anything like that?
I've never, I don't consider anything that I've experienced in my lifetime here in Texas like real snow. It's usually like icy snowish.
Yeah.
So I say no if anyone's asked me. I say I've never actually experienced real snowfall.
Oh, that's a shame.
It is.
The first, and I'm being honest, the first snowfall of the year or the snowfall around Christmas is really cool. Especially you have kids. Well, mine's 15 now, so he doesn't give 2 shits about it. But when they're young, and it's like, oh my god, we can't wait to go outside and spend them, and blah, 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 blah. And it's really cool. But once they get older, and you're like, oh shit, you gotta go shovel. The Christmas one is still pretty magical because Santa Claus comes.
It's like a little Hallmark movie.
It is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, meanwhile, it's over here in like 85 degrees on Christmas.
Right? You guys are cutting your freaking grass.
Yeah, we're still wearing jean shorts and...
I'm sure you wear jorts, is what you're telling me. You and John Cena.
Yeah, we actually wear the same size, so sometimes we share. It's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Good one. So you've been wrestling for 2 years, but you've been pandemic limited. So essentially, Maddie, do you want to say you've been 1 year ring experience? Is that what you're saying?
I do like to cut out the pandemic. I feel like when I say 2 years, people expect a certain level. And I don't know obviously I don't really know, and sometimes I don't even care what people's opinions are of my wrestling. But I like to say cut out the section of the pandemic. Then it makes me sound like I'm even greater.
But during the pandemic, you did a lot. You did more than a lot of people, especially up around our neck of the woods, if you want to say it like that, got to wrestle, because you got taken over to AEW, and hell, you wrestled more in front of nobody. And I'm not saying the talent is nobody, but I mean a paying crowd, stuff like that. Then you wrestled in front of anybody, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. But I didn't get into AEW, I think, until December. So there was a solid 9 months. Someone could have had a child in that time.
Becky Lynch did, by the way.
Yes, exactly. So there's a solid 9 months of just almost nothing. And I think that's huge. But I feel like AEW did kind of make up for that. And yeah, in front of no one, it's weird. It's daunting. At the same time, though, having the locker room talent be not only some of the fans, quote unquote, but also just watching you. And then also knowing that on the other side of that lens, thousands upon thousands of people are also watching you.
But isn't that a nice solace too? Because you're young in the business, and yeah, you have us at home watching everything, but right after your match, legit, you can go down, and I'm going to throw out a name that I know here, a couple of people that came down. You have Cole Carter that was there. You have Andrew Palace, people like that you might not know, but you could go over to them and say, hey, what did you, I don't know you from Adam, what did you think of my match? Did you do that with anybody you didn't know?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that in regards to I don't think I ever stuck out I don't want to say a male opinion, but I didn't ask any of the male talent. There were a couple people I guess the coaches in a sense, like Dustin, Jerry
QT.
Lynch, yeah, QT, Jerry Lynch, Cody, like those ones I would ask for advice, basically things like that. But there were a couple times where I would go up to like the girls in the locker room and just like talk to them, like Layla Hirsch. She is one of my favorites. She's very blunt, and very honest, as well as Thunder. So I definitely had a lot of people that I had access to.
Well, let's talk about some of your training prior to, your first couple matches and then heading to AEW. Where did you train and how did that decision come? Because we kind of bounce back and forth. That's just the way we do it here because I'm an idiot half the times. How was the decision making of I'm going to this school?
Yeah. So like I said, when I decided that I was going to find a wrestling school, the only one that I really ever looked up back in my college days when I was going to quit and just go become a wrestler,
After
was
backpacking across Nome or Alaska or something. Go ahead.
yeah, was Booker T's school in Houston. So like that was the one I had my mind set on. So I went and did a fantasy camp over there, and it was like a 3-hour camp. They put you through like exercises, like sets of like sit-ups, push-ups, whatever for the warm-up. And they taught you how to roll, and you did rolls and other stuff. And like I liked it and I wanted to go there, but at the same time, like Houston was just not the city for me. It just didn't fit my vibe.
Okay.
So to speak. I don't like the city that much. I like more quiet. I don't want to wait in traffic my entire life. And Houston is notorious for bad roads and traffic, and it floods
Hurry up
all
and
the
wait.
time.
Yeah. Hurry up and wait.
So I was kind of like holding off on that move. And then Gino Medina, he's with MLW. He's one of Booker's students from like day one.
Okay.
He actually told me that there were schools in San Antonio. So he invited me out to a show. I believe it was like a branded outlaw wrestling show, which is a promotion here. And he introduced me to Chris Marvel, who was the coach at Hybrid School of Wrestling here in San Antonio. And he told me to come in the next day, and I did. And from there, it was just like, I don't know, it's crazy because it feels like it was just yesterday, but it was definitely not yesterday.
It's 2 days ago.
Like, that's what it feels like. But yeah, so ever since then, I was at Hybrid, and I was very fortunate because Chris Marvel invests in his students, I would say. So about a couple months into my training there, we actually upgraded our facility. So then we were able to have like 3 rings, and then he also was able to get Funaki, Jazz, and Rodney Mack to be coaches at our school. So I had a plethora of trainers. And one I forgot to mention at the very beginning, Jesus Rodriguez was there, or Ricardo Rodriguez.
Right.
So it's like I've had a very fortunate path so far.
Yeah.
And then Marvel is also the one who kind of brought Thunder Rosa into our lives. She, I think, just moved to the area, and he opened the doors for her. And so that's how I first met Thunder Rosa.
And when you met Thunder, was it an instant connection between you two?
I mean, I wouldn't say like an instant, like, of course we were friendly, but she's
you're not going drinking the same night, right? But you understood that, man, I want something from her, and not in a bad way.
Like she's very, like she has, like I told Jazz, like they have very intimidating, like boss woman auras or something. Like they just give off this vibe, and you respect the shit out of them. Like Both of them. And I tell Jazz that all the time. I'm like, girl, like, I know we've known each other like this long, but you still scare me sometimes. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. It's just you. Like, having seen both of them and having seen them both work and just like the way they carry themselves and they maintain themselves like in the world. Like, it's just like, holy shit. Like, you just got to sit back for a minute and like respect the shit out of them.
Yeah. A promotional note: Jazz will be up and around our area on October 16th at IWC Super Indie. So maybe
Oh, wow.
maybe you could hitch a ride with her, and that's another way of you getting to Pittsburgh that you're not going to like, apparently.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop in her carry-on.
Yeah, you can do that, right? So
Maybe the checked baggage.
maybe. Jazz is another one I did want to talk about. Once you mentioned her, a Hall of Famer. Everything she has done for the women of wrestling. And I know that you're scared of her, but there's got to be a great Jazz story of her just either ripping into you or giving you some advice that changed your life.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing though. So she's never actually like ripped into me. So I have no reason to fear her. She just has that aura, but she's like the nicest person I've ever met. But yeah, so my first ever, I guess, match on the independent circuit was actually set up by Thunder Rosa and her husband. And it was at their promotion, Mission Pro, when it first started. And it was a student versus trainer match.
Yep.
Yeah. What a way to come into the business. So I had that, and I just remember I was like getting ready and whatnot. And she's like, Maddie, just remember, I taught you some of what I know, not all of what I know. And I was like, God dang it. Like, I'm already nervous. And you're like playing these mind games with me. I'm like, you're winning these mind games. So that was always one of my favorite like quotes from her, because obviously it's true because she kicked my ass.
But that's the best trainer. That really is the best trainer, because they can't give you everything, even though she's a legend and she's kind of on her air quotes retirement tour. Because I feel Jazz is somebody that's, you might be able to know this a little bit better than I do, isn't ever going to step away from wrestling. If you call her in 3 years or whatever and say, Jazz, I forgot how to do a forward roll, she's going to help you do a forward roll, right?
Of course, she may shove me a little bit, but
right.
Yeah, no, I don't think she ever will. And currently, her and Rodney actually have their own school, which I also go to, the Dog Pound Dojo in San Antonio.
I've heard of that
and
one.
we actually just had a show on Saturday, and it was kind of crazy, full circle-esque, because her daughter was actually the referee for my match. And so it was just kind of cool that Jazz was my first match, and then I was the first match that her daughter ever refed, and I was sitting there trying to calm her down while I'm also internally freaking out. So
all these little moments, I'm gonna break the fourth wall for you for a minute, but all these little moments mean something to you, right? Like that's a big point, that your first match was with Jazz, and now that her daughter was her first referee was with you. Like I feel that you guys really have a strong bond.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I don't know, I think I will always have like that kind of, I'm glad I have this pathway, and I'm glad I still call it fate. I'm glad that like fate put me in this position, that I didn't go off and become a park ranger and like meet Yogi Bear. Instead, I came to the wrestling world, and I went to Hybrid instead of Booker's. And I met Jazz and Thunder and Rodney and Chris Marvel and Funaki and all of them. So, yeah, I think that part of the business and everything kind of, it is sentimental.
You do a scissor kick, though. So is that still kind of like an homage to Booker? That you
100%. He was also one of our favorites. We definitely had me and my brother, a couple that we would emulate. when we were younger. Obviously, swanton bombs off the bed. My brother would put me in the bitch clamp a couple times. But the spinneroonie was always something that was never perfected. Still to this day, I try sometimes. And then obviously, Scotty Too Hottie, he was also a major one that was my favorite as well.
Can you do a worm though?
Worm. See, I can if I'm wearing boots, but not normal shoes. I need to figure out how I can ask him how you need to place your feet for it, because the way he does it and the hype he gets is just unreal.
The boots help you get a little more, they're stiffer, right?
Yeah, they make me not break my toes.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe I'm not doing it right.
I've tried the spinneroonie. I can't do it. I've never tried the worm because I've always been a plus size male. So I'm not even going to try the worm.
I mean, you got to try it at some point.
Sure. I'll go have some beers sometimes because that's the only time I'm going to be able to do the worm, maybe. So you're working with Mission Pro as well. And we talked a little bit prior to recording about how Title Network and everything puts out an amazing show for Mission Pro. And how is it with everything in you know where I'm coming from, because I said this, that everything is run by women, because on the podcast we've been saying the whole pandemic, women's wrestling carried the pandemic no matter what anybody says, because you guys, and I don't mean you guys like, oh, you women, no, but you guys have just outshined the men. Everything you've been doing, from Thunder in NWA, Thunder and Britt in AEW, Camille did it. I mean, the list can go on and on, to Sasha and Bianca and so on. You just outshine. So how is it knowing that everything at Mission Pro is ran by women, and we need to kind of stop that stigmatism that it's just still wrestling?
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly like incredible, because even though I'm not that far into the business, having gone to like other promotions where they are run by men, and it's not to say that they do it on purpose, but I don't think they always consider us. So to be the main priority in a promotion, to make sure like the locker room ethics are good, and to make sure like everyone is on the same page and everyone is supporting each other. And that's also the first time I've ever been in a locker room like that. It's kind of amazing and impressive that Mission is able to kind of hold themselves to that standard. And again, like you were saying, yeah, we are a women's company, but we are just putting on a wrestling like show. Like, and that's, I feel like we've earned that title. We're not just a women's wrestling show. We're just a wrestling show. Because you don't see like dudes like going around being like, hey guys, an all men's wrestling show, like
right?
Come out, like, and y'all just don't book girls because some promoters have like weird mindsets, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't book girls because they're just too expensive, or we don't book girls because they don't, like, no one watches them, or whatever reason. Like, I don't see them advertising like all male show. Like, I would love to see them do that, actually. I would love to see the turnout rate.
I don't know if I would, because I think that would be ignorant in this day and age. I really would. I mean, truthfully ignorant. Like, you have to be a complete jackass to say that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like now, like, Mission has shown that we bring in different women from different walks of life, from different body shapes, different backgrounds. Like, we are bringing in different aspects. We aren't just like other women's promotions. I feel like we've brought a new element, and I feel like many are following suit. So I'm very, very like lucky to have been on the first Mission show and on all of the followings, because I think they really did start a revolution, especially on the independents with women wrestling.
They really did. They really did. And you said exactly what I was thinking. There's a bunch of copycats out there now. But as we talked about in the beginning, the first is always the best.
Yeah. And I mean, copycats aren't necessarily a bad thing as long as it's done with the same intention. And the women are being treated like the same way, not just, I don't know, just for the clout, for the promotion. But it definitely helps my bank account when other promotions want to run women's shows.
Well, yeah, clearly.
So I'm not complaining too much, but I definitely think Mission Pro is doing it the best.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. So this is a question that we talked about a little bit, I don't know, a couple minutes ago. Who is Miss Reality Madi Wrenkowski? Like, when you came up and you're like, this is who I'm going to be, who'd you take, who'd you put together in your mind and say, all right, here we go?
Yeah. So Miss Reality Madi Wrenkowski, it is, as weird as this sounds, it is me.
I hate reality... that. Don't say. Oh wait, I'm stopping you right now. Don't say it's you times 11 because that is the shittiest PC answer.
It is not.
Okay,
it is not. It's not me times 11. But she is me. That is me. I took the reality portion purely based on the fact that I do like reality shows, but also two main factors in the whole, I guess, word is Enzo Amore was actually one of my favorite wrestlers. He kind of, when I was in college, he kind of reignited that for me. Because not obviously, I say that, but I don't mean it obviously.
Obviously, you don't. Okay.
Obviously. Yeah. But when I was in college, like when you're growing up in like high school or whatever, you become too cool for wrestling sometimes. But he's the one who kind of like pulled me back into it. So when I was younger, we couldn't always my brother would get to go to the shows, but I never did. So one of my first wrestling events ever was when NXT did a Texas tour. So me and my brother drove up to Austin and we watched it. And I hadn't necessarily been watching NXT, like keeping up, because I didn't have television like that in the dorms. But then he walked out and obviously they do their "My name is Enzo Amore," and literally like the whole crowd is like saying it with them. And for someone to have like that much power and that much like people wanted to not just be them, but you wanted to be with them. Like I didn't know them and I was instantly drawn to them. So that kind of like reignited my love for wrestling, because I believe wrestling is more than just the moves. It's about the connections. So he is the realest ever, whatever. Yeah, so that's one part of the real. And then again, Chris Marvel invests in his students. My first seminar ever was an Eddie Kingston seminar. And at that seminar, Eddie Kingston's main like takeaway point is to just be real, be who you are. Like he says, like the best wrestlers and the best promos that are ever filmed and the best matches are all like, they all come from and they're all rooted in authenticity. And so that's kind of stuck with me. And so I feel like that's why, like some people, when they meet me, they probably don't like me, but other people do. And so I feel like it's the same thing because I'm just who I am. Like if I have an issue with something, I'm going to say something. And at the same time, I can sometimes just be a bitch. Like,
yeah.
And there's just those days. Like if I don't like someone, like I don't like them. Like there's those people that just either say something and rubs you the wrong way, or sometimes it's just their face.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's true.
No, it is true. I agree. I shouldn't say wow, because there's people like, oh, look at this guy.
But yeah, and I feel like wrestling has given me the ability to speak my mind and to say what I want to say. And then, granted, I do have to follow that up, but I have that freedom to do so in a platform where people are listening. And my favorite is like, I'll be talking shit, and I do that a lot. But
Clearly.
and again, that's kind of where it goes back and forth, because some people will agree and they'll be like, yo, she's talking shit right now, but she's not wrong. But then some people are like, oh no, I love that girl. How dare Maddie talk about her? So it's like, I am me. I am Maddie. Like, what I feel, I say. And some people think I'm serious and some people think I don't. And I think I'm just going to leave that up to you, whether or not, like, you decide. Like, am I being serious right now? Do I really hate this girl? Chances are it is a yes. But to what degree? But that's just who I am.
So Leva Bates, you hate.
Leva, oh my God. Well, who brings books to a wrestling match, first off?
Right.
Second off, who even reads books? Like, I feel like that's bad for the environment. Like, hello? They had to print all those books.
Right.
Like, hello, Audible, or what is it? See, I don't even know the electronic books apps.
Amazon. Kindle. Yeah, I was gonna say Tinder. It's clearly not Tinder.
Whoa.
Wrong app. So you're saying Enzo and Eddie Kingston, and you have to probably throw in a little bit of Lita, right?
Ooh. Well, Lita, yeah. So for her, I feel like it was more just like her and AJ Lee. I also feel like, I don't know, they were more me. Like, they were more someone I could be like, hey, that's kind of like me. Hey, she's not your stereotypical Barbie doll. She's not blonde. She's not this specific physique. Like, I was more able to relate with them on, I guess, that level. And so I've kind of, I don't want to say encapsulated it. I mean, obviously, I don't think I'm like portrayed as the biggest tomboy, but I'm also not like little Barbie. I am unfiltered, and I feel like both of them were as well.
Yeah. I didn't get any of them right. I'll tell you that right now.
What?
I have you as, of course, Booker T, because of the move set and the scissor kick. Your other one, The Miz, because he's outspoken and kind of says what he wants to as well. So I figured that was you. And then, of course, I guess I did get Lita, but I think you portrayed more with what you just said, AJ Lee over Lita. So I was wrong on all of them.
Yeah, well, again, the first step is admitting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love me some Ms. and Mrs. So.
Yeah. Again, you and my wife are having a freaking tea party.
Dang, tell her let me know when.
All right.
I like my sandwiches without the crust.
Really?
No.
Sounds great, though.
Yeah, right? Like those little movies you see, and they have like cucumber sandwiches without the crust.
Right? Uncrustables? Yeah, Uncrustables. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Because you're a child yet. Shifting over to AEW, we talked about this prior to. You've wrestled the whole roster, more or less. I know there's a few, but how is that? Because everybody hasn't wrestled the whole roster. This is pretty huge that, you do have a few wins in AEW, but how is it that you've wrestled the whole roster? Is there somebody that stands out that you really loved working with?
I mean, I think all of them are like, they all have so many different aspects to them. I feel like you're never working with the same style, so they're all like their own challenge in itself. But yeah, I am one of the few that have had the opportunity to have multiple matches. Me and I believe like Kylan, Danny Jordan, and Tessa. But I think of us, Kylan and I are the only ones with wins under our belts. So, I mean, to be able to compare and to be able to, I mean, I may be ranked last, but at least
You're ranked.
at least I'm ranked.
Yeah, it's something. You can only go up,
Me and my
right?
3 wins.
You can only go up.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think they can take the wins away from me. I hope they can't.
No, I don't think so. Let's take a quick break from wrestling and get some more behind Madi and find out. Describe a day in your life. What do you do from, it's an off day in wrestling. So what are you doing?
Ooh, eating.
The whole 24 hours, I'm eating.
Pretty much. I mean, typically, if we're not like including like normal day-to-day stuff like laundry or whatever, I like to take my dog that I just got hiking. So we started looking for different trails, connecting back to my college roots of
Right, that's what I was just laughing at. It's still there.
Yeah, can't let that dream die. Once I'm too old and my bones are hurting and my joints ache when it's about to rain and I got to retire from wrestling, I'll just live my life out in the park. So I got to find a good one to live out in. So we do that a lot. But basically like off days, and if I don't have like a show or a match coming up, I'll go to the gym. But again, my primary like thing for the day is like, what do we eat? What kind of food can we find here that we have not had?
We know your love for tacos, but what else is a go-to for you?
Oh, I love Asian food. Yeah, Thai food, yellow curry, like that's my stuff. I love Asian food. I can eat it every single day if I had to.
Do you have like nerd out things that you are you a video gamer? Clearly you don't like books, but is there anything that you like to do besides walking the dog on a rainy day?
I haven't really been into video games too much. I used to play them a lot when I was younger, like all the WWE ones. That's when I found my love for Scotty 2 Hotty. I hit that finisher on everyone.
Yeah.
But typically, I do like movies. I like movies and television shows. I like when they can I like when they can like get a response from me, if that makes any sense. Like movies that can like move you, like the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Love that movie.
I thought you were gonna say like Marley and Me or something.
Oh, that is also up there in my favorite movie. Marley and Me, A Dog's Purpose. Those get me.
Those get me all the time. I can't watch them. I watched them once and I'm done because we have a 9-year-old golden retriever that I don't want to think about that. Nope.
You got maybe like 3-4 years.
Thanks. Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Be real.
I know. What do you listen to when you like work out and stuff?
Oh, so today I actually was listening to a playlist on Apple Music, 90s rock essentials.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Didn't peg you for a 90s girl.
What can I say? I'm complex.
You are complex. You really are.
I'm like an ogre. I have layers.
What's your favorite 90s? This is unbelievable.
Like the year?
No, yeah, I love 1995. No, you dork. I meant your favorite 90s band or music.
Oh, I was like, what the heck?
What the hell are you talking about? I think 93 was great. I don't know.
I was like, what I'm thinking, are we talking about like stock market, house? Like, what are we considering? I don't know. I'm very, that's the thing. I don't think I have like a specific one, but it seemed like a lot of the songs have like the same, like, I don't want to say vibes because they all sound different, but the same.
Same. Well, that's
Yeah,
a
and
90s
it's
music in general.
yeah. So it's just kind of that vibe. I only do like, when I listen to those playlists, it's typically like the rock ones, some of the alternative, the pop, and then some R&B. But the 90s, like, I don't know what the heck they were drinking. Like, their music was great.
A lot. They were drinking and doing a lot of stuff in the 90s. Leave it at that.
And of course, I got to shout out to my boy bands and my girl bands. My first entrance song was actually "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls. So
that's where I thought you were going from the get-go. When you said rock and kind of like grunge, I'm like, what? That's why you blew my mind.
But yeah, I grew up with older siblings since I'm the youngest.
Mommy's little baby. Music. Yeah.
And that's why I'm so great. The first 3 weren't enough, so they had to have another.
And then they had the reality check.
Yes, they did, and that's when they stopped.
By the way, reality check, are we going to get more of those on the old Facebook?
Reality checks?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you did a couple reality checks about your opponents or just in general on Facebook. I think this should be at least a weekly thing that you can. I know you have your Cameo, and we'll get to that too. But you should at least give the world a reality check every week.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about that. I've been in talks with some people, but I feel like before I start like checking people, I should at least have like a good intro video. So I got to figure that out first before I just start putting people in their places.
Okay. It's at least in the works. That's what I like to hear.
Yes, of course.
So, Cameo. You're on Cameo now, and I want to give you your outlet to do your whole spiel on your whole socials here in a minute. But what has been your worst Cameo that you had to send, and what has been your best Cameo that you had to send?
So worst, I haven't because I just declined them. So that being said, I will not record my feet.
Oh, God.
I will not record myself saying your name close up to the camera and then far away from the camera and then close up to the camera for a minute. That's just not me.
What the hell are people asking for? Jeez.
Weird things. Very interesting things. But my favorites, I did a Cameo, a birthday message for like one of my first little fans. She, I think, just turned 6, and they paid me to do a little Cameo for her, and it was nice because she was like, "I'm scared of children. First off, children scare me. I don't know why. They just do. I don't like them." But she was like the first little girl to like be nice to me. So like I'm slowly like starting to be okay with them, but I talk to them like they're adults, and like I joke around like this.
You don't have nieces or nephews or anything like that you cuddle up to? That no, you just
we had dogs, dogs and a cat.
Wow, you just admitted you hate kids. That's unbelievable.
We don't have that understanding.
That's going to definitely get you over in the wrestling business, since that's half the freaking market.
I mean, we like have a mutual respect. Like they respect me, and I'm like, "Hey, kid," and I'm just really kind of awkward about it because like I don't know how to handle kids.
Weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life, Maddie. I'm sorry.
I just don't know how to interact with them. I was the youngest, so there was no one like
around.
I had to take care of or like talk to their level, like, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but okay. It's
kids
perfect.
Are scary.
Yeah. Kids are scary. Let's stay on this subject for a hot minute, if you don't mind. Yeah, because they bring snot, and I'm speaking from my 15-year-old now, that they bring snot and dirt and frogs and just random crap that sometimes you don't want. So, all right.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
So that one.
But you wouldn't know. So.
No, but you see, like I see. I'm obsessed with TikTok. Like these kids nowadays are wild. Like they are wild.
Yeah.
Seeing these like 12-year-olds, like they are wearing the same outfit as me. I'm like, whoa, one of us is in the wrong here, and I'm thinking it might be you.
At the age of
but
12, if you wore what you wore now, would your mother have beaten your ass?
Well, I was wearing matching like jogging suits with my sister with like white New Balances. So
Were they the Puma ones at least? The Puma jogging?
I think they probably were not. They were like windbreakers.
Oh, okay. the Target or Walmart ones?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe JCPenney. Maybe we splurged.
Higher class.
Yeah. But we definitely had sweats from Walmart. I still do. That's my thing.
At Sundays when we have 4 feet of snow up here, yeah, it's sweats all day watching football. Yeah. So you're a big supporter. I want to give you a minute to talk about this. You're a big supporter and ambassador of Liquid IV. Tell us a little bit about this and how much you love it and it helps you throughout your training and everything.
Yeah. So I was actually introduced to Liquid IV by my sister because, like a good younger sister, my job is to steal everything that they have without them knowing and use it. So that's what I did. So basically I tried it and I was like, yo, this stuff, it tastes good. They have like all these different flavors. But then when I actually went online, I noticed that they have like energy ones as well as immunity boosters and just the regular ones. But for me, I like energy drinks, but I'm not a fan of the energy drink prices.
Touche, yeah.
So I tried out the Liquid IV energy one, and like it felt like it worked, whether it was a placebo effect or not. And to this day is to my brain, like the brain's strong. I don't know, but I feel like they work and they don't taste bad. And it's definitely an alternative because there are people who don't like drinking plain water. So it kind of, I try and drink a lot of water, like about half a gallon at least. But this kind of let me say kind of one more time. You've
had a couple other ones 3 or 4 times in one sentence. So yeah.
Okay. It's it's later in the day. But yeah, no, it just gives you like something different. You're not just drinking water. It gives you flavor. It's kind of like those Mio things.
Yep.
But I don't like wasting water bottles per se. So they gave me like a water bottle from Liquid IV, and so I used that, and it's honestly just great. And now I tell everyone, I make everyone drink it, buy it, use my code Madi_Wrenkowski. And is it because I care about their health or because I want the profits from it? I don't know. Again, I'll let you decide.
Well, you're a fool if you don't say both. You're a fool if you don't say both. Profit first, because it's what it's all about. It's about gaining that money. Since we're talking about water, there's one more transition, and I have a couple more questions, and I'll let you go. Catering at AEW. What did you think about it? What is it? How is it? Because I talked to Nikita Knight recently, who is going to be on Dark Elevation, I believe. Or she was prior to recording nonetheless, because I told you not to mess it up and I did. But she was just on Dark Elevation and she missed catering. Did you get catering?
Yeah.
How is it?
I told you the things that I look forward to are my meals.
Yeah.
So no, I did not miss catering. I knew when it was open and I knew when it was closed.
You went twice.
Yes. And it was good. Their catering is good. I don't know. They have a lot of options. So like, I've never heard of surf and turf. Like I've heard of it from like a commercial, but I guess it's when you get like steak and like fish.
Never usually lobster.
I don't know, but did that. I was like, ooh. The Jacksonville one was Like it was the same people, so like you kind of got to build that like connection. And they had this bomb soup. I don't even remember what it was called, but I would die every time. And then the last time that I was in Jacksonville, I got it and I spilt it all over my pants, and I haven't had it since, and so I'm really upset. So catering's a touchy subject for me.
So you're a messy eater. You love eating, but you're like Cookie Monster when you eat.
I don't want to say yes, but I definitely don't always take my time.
So you're legitimately like me. You live to eat. You don't eat to live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. Switching back to wrestling, what's your goals from today until next year at this time?
I mean, first goal would, like long term, I guess, would be to get a contract. I would love to do this full time, just focus on this. But if that doesn't happen, obviously this is a long game. Many people have not had the same amount of opportunities that I've had in their longer careers. So I am very thankful for the ones that I've had. But I definitely want to get out of Texas. Aside from AEW and then Mission Pro traveling to Jacksonville and Oklahoma, I have not been out of Texas to wrestle. So I would definitely love to do that. And currently in the works. So if anyone's listening, let me know. Hit me up. Let's talk about it.
Well, you're coming to Pittsburgh in Jazz's bag, so that'll knock off Pennsylvania for you.
Check.
In 5 years, then, what do you expect out of this business in 5 years? Do you want to make some overseas trips or anything? Like, would you love to go to Japan?
Yeah, I would like to go overseas, and if Japan was like the first opportunity that came up, I would love to. But if I got to choose anywhere, I would love to go to Australia or New Zealand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it so you can spend some time hiking down there as well?
I'm trying to find myself a Hemsworth.
You're real.
No, but yeah, it is a very beautiful, it's very beautiful over there. And in New Zealand, it's actually, they have a place where they filmed Lord of the Rings, the Shire. It's a real place. Like, the set is a real place. So I want to go and see that set. But yeah, it's like a whole other world over there. I hear they got like big ass spiders and stuff. Not that I want to see it, but
right.
Yeah. And then AEW has given me the fortunate connection indirectly with Shazza McKenzie, and she is an amazing human being in itself. Unfortunately, right now she's locked in Australia.
Yeah, literally locked in it. Yeah.
Yes. But I met her because she saw me, I believe, on AEW, and since then she's just been amazing. And it's cool. It's cool that wrestling has opened these doors, and now I just need to walk through them. I'm like, hey, girl, I'll be trapped in Australia with you.
You guys would be a great tag team, I think.
That would be fun. She seems cool.
She seems cool. A couple more for real this time. Can you step outside yourself as a wrestler and like go back mentally into your childhood and say, wow, I'm doing this?
It's weird. I was actually just talking about that. Like, I never in my life, like, did I ever imagine it going this way? Like, ever. 'Cause when I was first growing up, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play sports. It was like, I'm gonna be a veterinarian. And then whenever one of my dogs got hurt, I was like, I could never put a dog down. Next step, I'm going to work in a park. I'm going to work in state parks. I'm just going to be surrounded by bears and trees and lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Yeah. And then, and then here we are, like never. It just, little Madison would be like, what? What? This is not on the plan. This is not a veterinarian. This is not a food critic. Like, what?
Yeah. This is something you just said you don't think you could be able to put a dog down, and nor do I. But as a park ranger, don't you have to put maybe some animals down too?
Injured animals?
Yeah, I mean, a dog would be injured that you would have to put down. I mean, what if Yogi was out there?
Herein lies the difference. A dog is like, typically they become part of someone's family.
Right.
And like you just said, Marley and Me, or a dog's purpose. Like having to kill someone's like best friend, like this thing has been with them for like 13 years maybe, is just insane. And like all of the advisors in college are like, it's fine, like it's hard at the beginning, but you'll get used to it. I was like, yo, I don't think I want to get used to killing someone's best friend. I don't know about you. Can't do that. I don't want to do that. So.
But a rabid bear, you're taking its ass down.
Oh, if he's rabid, hello. I've seen Old Yeller. Like, I know how this goes.
Let's see. All right. You're young into the business, okay? But, you know, a child that you hate comes up to you and says, Maddie, I want to be just like you when I grow up. What advice do you give them?
I say, I know, right?
You run, because I don't want to talk to this damn kid.
I say, yeah, okay. I'm just what advice? See, I feel like I have to be in that moment. Like I have to see their soul-sucking eyes, because that's what they do. They draw you in. They draw you in. They really do. Like they just look into your soul, because there are some kids and they'll be like yelling at you from like the crowd, and they'll be like, you suck. I'm like, oh yeah, like come in here. But their eyes are evil. But there's some cute ones, like I said. Like there are a couple cute ones, and they just draw you in with their eyes. They're like puppy dog eyes.
They are puppy
So
dog.
I have to be in that moment to channel that inspirational Maddie. Otherwise she's not here.
Definitely not here right now. Not at all.
No.
You get this all the time on podcasts, because this is our kind of nerd out question. What is your dream match? But wait, because I have a caveat to this.
Well, wait, there's more.
Yeah, there is more. You must know this or you listened before. I want to know who, I want to know where, and I want to know the stipulation to your match.
Oh. I want to do, let's see. See, I feel like that's hard.
Well, no shit. That's what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to know about this offhand.
Yeah, but I feel like now I got to connect, like, because I would love to do a hair versus hair match. But,
what? Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do a hair versus hair match. But the thing is, like, a lot of the times I'd say my dream opponent to at least try is Rhea Ripley, but I feel like she doesn't have that much to lose. I feel like I would have the most to lose here.
Yeah.
Like, her hair is nice, but I feel like I have a little more to lose.
Well, you have a lot more to lose, yeah.
So that would be hard for me to say Rhea Ripley in a hair versus hair match. So, like, you're putting me...
Shotzi, then.
But, no.
No. Okay. Where? But where, then? Like...
Where?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people would be like, ooh, Madison Square Garden. But I think it would be cool to do it, like, in Texas. So, like, the place that my wrestling career was born and is going. Like, it's spreading around Texas. Like, to have these people who watched me in my first shows and watched me look like a fool.
But not Houston, because you wouldn't be able to get around.
Yeah, not Houston. So maybe like Dallas.
So AT&T Stadium?
Oh yeah, Jerry's World.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it there.
Are you a Cowboys fan?
I mean, no, but also I'm very aware that the Cowboys are America's team, so I've accepted it.
Oh, I have not.
Well, you get with it.
Yeah. Reality check again.
Yeah.
So, all right.
You can escape the Cowboys.
Do you follow any other sports? And how much? All right, but you don't have to answer that one. I don't really care if you like baseball or soccer or anything like that. But how much wrestling do you actually watch right now?
So I kind of watch a lot. I watch basically all of the AEW products. So Dark Elevation, Dark, Dynamite, Rampage. I might not watch it live, but I have them recorded. So I watch those. I don't always watch WWE. I pick and choose which matches.
A lot of people do anymore. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah. I haven't really been able to. I haven't caught a lot of Impact in ROH, bits and pieces of ROH. And then independent matches, I usually see if someone like tweets them out and I have time, like I'll click on them. But other than that.
Do you go back and watch anything old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Since meeting Jerry Lynn, I've watched a ton of his matches.
ECW Jerry Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all of Jerry Lynn. He did a lot of matches against RVD.
Yep.
So that whole timeline right there, that was a lot of the ones that I watched. Because it's nice to watch them and know what he's talking about when he's like talking to me, instead of just being like, oh yeah, like to be able to actually like conversate about it and whatnot.
Yeah. Any women that from yesteryear that besides Lita that you go back and watch on YouTube or anything?
Jazz.
All right. Geez, that was stupid, Mark. Yeah. All right.
I watched a lot of Jazz. A couple months ago, I was watching a lot of Mako Satomura.
Okay.
Those are pretty much out of the females, the main ones that I watch. I like watching females wrestling, but I also like trying to I don't know, because I feel like I don't want to say a lot of females do the same thing. They do similar things with the twist. So I don't want to be like everyone else, you know?
Back in the day, they did a lot of the same things. And I know that was no disrespect. That was just the moveset that the WWE at that time allowed them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
One of your dream matches, I thought maybe you'd bring up Chelsea Green as well. I could see you and Chelsea ripping the house down. I don't know why she just popped in. Yeah, I think you and Chelsea are kind of on the same level. I'm not saying you're a hot mess or anything, but you both are bitchy at sometimes.
Me? Never.
Right. All right. Give everybody else your socials, how they can follow you, which is real easy because you have one of the easiest socials to follow. And where are you going to be besides Texas?
Well, besides Texas, way to throw me out there like that. Nowhere.
All right.
No, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all under Madi_Wrenkowski. That's WRENKOWSKI. If you can spell it, you can find it. I'm also on Cameo. I have a merchandise website in my bio, which is a Big Cartel, and I also have a pro wrestling tees. So I'm available everywhere to take the money.
And you just got some new sweet-ass stickers, too, from my favorite place, Sticker Mule.
Yeah. Have you ordered from there recently?
All the time. Yep.
They have a hot sauce, and it actually was not that bad.
No, I got it last time. We have just changed our logo up to go kind of old school because we used to have like two garbage men. I'm sure you've seen it, but we went old school now because we also have a title belt coming, which is really cool. We have our crest and everything, so I had to, of course, order new stickers to pass out at shows and everything. So I love Sticker Mule. I'll wave the flag for them, and their hot sauce is not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No. So, all right, Maddie, I will let you go this evening. Thank you very much for coming on Can Crushers and chatting a bit with us. We can't wait to see you around the world. We need to get you up north here. We need to have you go to do things like WrestleCade or like Celeb Fest so you can come out and meet some more kids because kids love you.
What can I say? I just have that draw to them. They just... Something about me.
Something about you. Thanks, Maddie.
No problem. You have a good night.
I guess that wasn't as bad as the reality check. I think the reality check was more on kids. Maddie. No, this was a fun interview. It really was. We got to find out that she wanted to save Yogi Bear at one time. And then she decided, nope, she's not saving Yogi Bear. She's going to beat the hell out of her body. And her mom and her brother make her outfits that I love so much. This is unbelievable that she doesn't get a lot of say in her outfits, but she's got some of the sweetest gear on the wrestling circuit. And to find out it's from FloJo. That's cool. That's cool. She was a runner. And guys, you listen to the podcast. I really had a lot of fun with Maddie. Guys, support her. If you're in Texas and, you can go to Mission Pro, go down. Support her anywhere you see Miss Reality, Madi Wrenkowski. Guys, support indie wrestling in general because it's where you see the stars before they are the stars. But Miss Reality is a star. I don't believe she didn't know what Big Brother is. Guys, if you want to hear about more stars around the world, we'll call them. Send us an email at cancrusher69@gmail.com or give us a phone call at 814-299-6687. Tell us who you want to hear from. Leave us a voicemail. Maybe you'll make it on the podcast. Tell us a cool wrestling story. All of that can happen at 814-299-6687, and we'll play it on the air. So, yeah, that's what it is. Another great episode with Miss Reality, Madi Wrenkowski. Guys, remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.